Well, it's raining. I am glad I'm out of all that brush because I would have been getting soaked. I found the creek. I literally started setting up my shelter, and here comes the rain. Here's the little creek. Might be a nice, maybe a little fishing hole right there. Here's my little pop-up shelter. Took me about 20 minutes to get this dialed in the rain, and I'm hoping so far everything underneath there is staying dry. I am getting some poolage there, but I hope the way I have it tiered off and pulled off that it'll eventually drain and not drain on me. And I got a little fire pit going on here. I still need to do a little more work on that. But I do have to say, I am very happy of not being in the brush, because that's what really gets you wet when it rains. Well, I got a fire going. It's not a big one, but it feels good. What is it about a fire when you're camping or backpacking? Just has that calming comfort feeling. It's just good. Since we're waiting for dinner to seep, I'm going to show you what I did real quick. I just cut this spruce bough and looped it inside the loops of my trekking poles on both ends. I buried the trekking pole as deep as I could get it, and then I just piled some rocks as a little bit more stabilization. I think that'll hold. I am using the classic Eagle Claw 4-piece pack rod with the classic rooster tail. And let's try out this little hole right here and see if we can't pick something up. Oh, I had a little 6-incher. First cast. Okay, let's talk about fire and the backcountry. Last night it was raining when I was setting up camp. All my wood was pretty wet, and I gotta tell you, I actually struggled a little bit finding dry wood, and it's the tinder to get the fire going was my biggest problem. But I always bring waterproof matches in a waterproof case. I have my stormproof, windproof lighter. I have your standard Bic lighter. And then I have my ferro rod, which you can see has been used quite a bit. And that's about 4 ways that I can start a fire. If you want to get even more crazy if something happens, you could always turn your stove on and have flame there. Now, that being said, I've had this for years and years and years. And I filled it not too long ago. And it's barely working. Do you see it flickering right there? It's barely working. Now, I don't know if it's getting low on fuel. It doesn't seem to be, but guess what? What happens if this took a crap? Well, let's take that away. Now I have my standard Bic lighter. Okay, that works. And then I have my fireproof matches, and then I have my ferro rod. And like I was saying, it's finding that dry tinder fire starter to get the fire going is where I struggled a little bit last night. I actually was crawling under logs, finding the smallest, tiniest pieces of sticks, and that's where I found that big chunk of cedar. And I was able to get some small sticks and carve stuff out. So now I'm going to show you how to start a fire, hopefully, with a ferro rod and get that going before it starts raining again. So when you're in inclement weather, snow, rain, cold, wind, getting a fire can be, well, it could be a struggle. Finding that dry tinder to get that fire going is sometimes very hard. But what could you use maybe that you brought with you to help get a fire going? Fritos corn chips. Excellent fire starter. Haven't used it in years. I have used it in the past. Let's see if I can get a fire going with a Frito chip, my kindling off my chunk of cedar, and my ferro rod. Why not? I can't catch any fish, so I might as well try to start a fire. Now the sparks from a ferro rod, I've heard and read that they can go up to 3,000 degrees. So I got my little cedar chunks in here. I got my little Frito right there. And these are the original. This is not the chili cheese, in case you were wondering. I got my ferro rod. Let's see if I can get enough sparks on this thing. Oh. Man, it sure looked like it wanted to. Had some good sparks going on there. Oh. May not happen, folks. That doesn't look like it's going to work, at least not right now. It would have been cool. That could have been 1,000,000 views right there. But I'll show you how flammable these Fritos are. Look at that flame. Took about a minute and a half. I added a few more chunks of wood on there, blew on it about a half a dozen times. And look at that. We got a Frito fire. Got some good snapping going on. And you know, with that much grease to start a fire like that, you know that this has to be so, so good for you. I have not tried it with the chili cheese, which are probably my favorite. But I was feeling have some old school Fritos. I gotta tell you, they're good. Well, there you go. Try the Fritos. I've had success with those. I haven't tried Doritos or anything like that, but who knows? And later on this evening, I'm going to show you, hopefully, how I stay warm at night from the bottom up. Because I am just sleeping on a big pile of sand, and it's damp and it's cold. And that ground can suck the body heat right out of you. I do have a pad underneath me, but it could still really suck the heat out of your body. So stay tuned for that. Well, I'm going to show you a trick I haven't done in probably over 15 years. I got this idea. I did a kind of a survival thing 15, 16 years ago up the Chihuahua River, up in Glacier Peak Wilderness. I went for, I think it was 48 hours, just with a day pack, an emergency blanket, some beef jerky, some trail mix, a knife, I think some wire and some rope, no sleeping bag, no pad. And it was about this time of year, and I found a sandy bar, and I knew it was going to be cold. So what I did was I dug down into the sand, started a fire, and put about 8 or 10 pretty flat rocks into the sand hole, put the sand back, and slept on that. And it worked excellent. Actually, for the first couple hours, it was a little bit too hot. Sand is a great insulator, but it also holds moisture. This is where I slept last night. You can see the wet area right there versus the dry. So that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to dig all this out a couple inches, and then we're going to lay rocks heated, and I should sleep pretty warm, because I did feel that ground last night kind of pulling the body heat out of me. So I've got some time. Fishing has not been good. I did finally catch one. It was about 4 inches. Let him go. So I'm going to work on this because it is starting to rain again for about the 8th time today. Well, I think that's going to be my pattern. And then I'll push all this remaining sand over. The rocks are probably 4 to 5 inches underneath the sand. And that's about all I need to take that cold, damp chill off my body when I'm laying on here. Alrighty. As you can see, I have most of the rocks on the fire. It is raining again, as you can see, sprinkling on the rocks. A little bit of a disclaimer: try to get the rocks furthest away from the river. Do not use rocks that came directly out of the river. I've heard that sometimes rocks can explode. So these ones I got actually behind me. They've been out in the hot summer sun most of the time. So hopefully we shouldn't have any problems. And I'm going to leave these in there for probably 45 minutes to an hour. And made myself a little stick tongs so I can fish them out and put them in my sand pit. And then we'll cover them up, smooth it all out. It'll be like sleeping on a warm waterbed, sand bed. The only thing I wish I would have brought, and I wasn't even planning on doing this, but because of not finding the lake, I'm improvising. So thank you for watching. If you're still watching at this part of the video, I'm just trying to come up with things I've done in the past to well, make a video, because the Lost Lake, Big Fish Lake, is going to have to be another time. We got hot rocks. I'm going to take them off and put them in my sand pit. With my custom RB Outdoors Northwest patent pending wilderness tongs. Hot, hot. Let's see how hot these babies are. Oh, oh, that's hot. Water gone. It's a sauna. All right, let's cover these babies up and get the sand to cooking. This has been my digging, and now will be my undigging tool. All right, let's get it. Well, there you go. There's no dead body underneath there. Just some nice hot rocks. Man, if I knew I was going to do this again, I would have brought a digital meat thermometer and did a before sand temperature and an after to see what the temperature difference will be. Like I said, the last time I did this was a long time ago. And I got to tell you, it made a huge difference versus sleeping in, well, cold sand. So this is going to take a little bit to radiate. I was kind of tapping my hand around, and I could feel some lukewarm spots, but it's going to take a while for that heat to kind of come up to the top, because sand is a very good insulator. I'm approximately maybe 3 to 4 inches deep. I'm going to lay my ground cover back on, and I'm just going to lay on that until I start feeling some heat and cook some dinner. Okay, it's been about 10 minutes. I am just laying on my thin little footprint off my 2-man tent. And guys, I feel like I'm laying on a heat pad at home. My left butt cheek is warm. My rib cage right here, I got heat. I just wish I had that thermometer just to see the difference. I mean, it's significant difference. I mean, huge difference. It's just awesome. And when you're out in the wilderness and you're trying to survive and stay warm, and every little bit of comfort just can make you stay longer to hopefully, you know, wait out the weather if it's going to be cold and rainy for a couple days or so. But I got to tell you, these rocks in the sand, hold on. Whew, my left butt cheek's getting warm. I do have some hot spots. Of course, some rocks are thicker than others, and some might be a little closer to the surface. But guys, I'm laying on wet sand on something just almost paper thin, and it feels like I'm on a heat pad. It is absolutely awesome. If you ever get a chance to do this, I have not tried it in dirt, because dirt would require a shovel, and I am over 3 hours from the trailhead. I'm not packing a shovel. But sand, if you're on a riverbank, a creek bank, and you get a situation that you're a little cold, or your girlfriend or wife's cold, and you've got some time on your hands, I'm telling you, this could be the difference between a good night's sleep and just an okay night's sleep. This portion of RB Outdoors Northwest is brought to you by the Wilderness Tongs. Multi-purpose tool. You can grab hot rocks. You can grab cold beers out of the creek. You can grab your girlfriend's hiney if you're feeling frisky. Buy one for $19.95. Get a second pair free. I'll give you the sticks and the wire so you can make your own. Call 1-800, I'm your Huckleberry. Give me those patent pending wilderness tongs. 2 weeks for shipping. Maybe 4 because of COVID. Just finished dinner and up the valley. I've been looking up there all day going, man, is that snow that I see? But it's been so foggy, so rainy, but it is starting to clear up, and I wasn't imagining. I don't know if you look way up there, that is snow, and technically that's where I should be. I have chosen wisely not finding that lake. I'd be camping in snow right now or coming out. So I guess everything happens for a reason. I knew it was cold last night when it was raining, and then it cleared up and then it rained again. So glad I got that sandbox full of hot rocks I'm sleeping on tonight, because it is starting to clear up and getting cold, so very happy. Good morning. It's about 6:45. Got a little fire going. Of course, the coffee. You can see I got a little frosty last night. I didn't realize how cold it got. This is from my breath freezing last night on the side of my sleeping bag, or the top, the condensation. Woo-wee! I don't know how cold it got, but that cold. Well, that's going to be a wrap for this video. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Didn't go quite as planned finding that lost lake. I've been looking at the map, and I may have found an easier route in, but it also adds, it could be like 13 miles one way to get to this lake. That will be another plan for next year, hopefully. It's too late in the season. But thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe. Please share this video. Please give this video a thumbs up. I am leaving a little extra early because I am going to try to fish this creek and try to catch something besides a 4-incher. I'm not giving up that easy. So thank you again, and we will see you very, very soon.